This is a very unique Ford Super Duty. I mean, it's a short cab, a long bed, and 4x4. But what makes it so unusual is that it's the powerstroke. And fully tested, we need a massive load. And I think I see a massive load coming at us right now, because this truck will tow over 20,000 pounds. So we're gonna load up that truck onto that trailer, which combined, yeah, I hear you, Andre, gets us to almost 20,000 pounds, and drive it from here in Moab all the way back to Boulder and see just how this bad boy tows. You ready to go, Andre?
Is this big enough?
That's big enough. Load it up. All right, the question is, Andre, do we have this thing distributed right on the trailer?
And we have the tools to find out. Let me show you my way-safe hitch.
Okay, show me, because we want the right amount of tongue weight, because this is a heavy load. Dare I say a massive load, Andre?
It is massive.
Like the load in my pants. How much are we towing, Andre?
Well, the trailer, this Diamond C,
Yeah.
weighs just under 8,000 pounds.
And where do we get this trailer? It's a beautiful trailer.
We got it from Silver Spur Trailers in Brush, Colorado.
Yeah.
Which is a super place.
They lent it to us?
Yeah, we did.
You guys are the best. Thank you. And how much are we towing?
And the truck, this military bobbed deuce and a half, weighs about 11.
So we're at about 19?
Yes.
Ish.
So ideally, for a gooseneck type trailer,
Yeah.
we would want about 15% of a total weight,
So about 3,000 pounds.
almost 3,000 pounds on the hitch. And look at this, Roman. We nailed it. Right there. It says 3,000 right there. This is a way-safe gooseneck ball. It's capable of up to 30,000 pounds. Really heavy duty. And it's a 2 5/16.
Right. So we nailed the location. How about the overall weight? I mean, what can this truck tow?
So I looked it up using Ford's website.
Yeah.
So they have a little calculator for towing, because each truck is unique, right? And this is a very, very distinct configuration. 20,000 pounds capable.
So we're under that.
Yes, but we're pushing this puppy
To the
basically
max.
to the limit. Yeah, almost to the limit.
All right, let's look at the trailer. Let's do a quick walk around the trailer. Come on over here, Gavin. So these guys over here, Silver Spur Trailers, right? They lent us. So thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, Brody and his team are really, really great guys.
And this
So-
looks like the kind of the right size trailer for the job.
Yeah, because you don't want the trailer too long,
Yeah.
right? This is slightly shorter trailer. It's about 30 feet on the deck. And it also makes it a little bit lighter, because if you can get a giant trailer with a hydraulic dovetail, those trailers could weigh many, hundreds of pounds more.
All right.
But we do have heavy axles, and this trailer is actually capable of around 25,000 pounds.
So we're under the trailer limit.
Yes.
Which is great. Now I do have one concern.
What is it?
This truck is dwarfing the Super Duty.
Yes.
Can we get this under like the tunnel?
Yes, so we measured it.
Yeah.
The highest point, Gavin, come over here, is that exhaust pipe, the stack on this military truck, and that's 12 feet, 12 and a half feet. So we're fine.
So 14 would be too much.
Yeah, so if you have to be under 14 or under 13 and a half to clear all low clearance areas, basically.
Right. So speaking of the tunnel, I meant the Eisenhower tunnel. Since
Yeah.
we're going back to Colorado, hey, are you up for a little mini Ike?
Well, this is going to be a big Ike, actually.
I mean, we're not going to go down, we're just
Okay.
going to go up. So
Yes.
half an Ike. So we'll do two things, right? We'll do our usual fuel economy. I'm really curious, towing almost 20,000 pounds, what kind of fuel economy that truck's going to get.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's drive to Fruta.
Okay.
The gas station there, we'll fill it up, usual.
We need a truck stop, something
It's a truck-
big.
it's a truck
Yeah,
stop.
something big.
And then we'll head on over Vail Pass, and then we'll run the Ike up to the Eisenhower Tunnel.
Yeah, we have to go up Vail and down Vail, and then up Ike and all the way down to Denver.
And so we'll figure out what kind of fuel economy we're getting, and we'll figure out if this truck could indeed make it in 8 minutes up the Ike Gauntlet. I don't think it can, dude. I mean, I'm really curious to see how this thing goes.
I mean, it may have enough torque, but what about cooling? It's a hot day, right? It
Well, in the
might
mountains,
get hot.
In the mountains, it'll be better.
It's a little bit cooler.
It's steep, and this is heavy.
All right, but there's a lot more work to be done. I have to tie this down.
Well, you go at it. I'm gonna go get some lunch.
I'm really starting to get into watches, and one of the coolest I've seen all year is the original grain Ford Motor Company collaboration. You're gonna check this thing out. I don't need to tell you about the long history of Ford Motor Company and some of the legendary trucks and four-wheel drives and cars that they've built throughout the years. And this original grain Ford collaboration comes in this beautifully crafted wooden box. And when I pop this open, we're going to reveal the watch. And look how nice this unit is. If you're a fan of older Fords like we are, be it our Model T or Andre's Ford F600, then you're going to be very familiar with a lot of the materials that original grain makes this watch out of. So we're going to find real wood, steel, and leather throughout the collection. This watch features an all-natural oak wood inlay, and look at that Ford tailgate design on the center of the watch dial. Pretty cool stuff. Now, Original Grain has been making unique watches for 12 years now, using everything from reclaimed wood from guitars and whiskey bourbon barrels to floorboards from the Grand Ole Opry stage. With Father's Day just around the corner, this Original Grain watch is a great gift for the Ford lover in your family, and this one is just one of 6 in this collection. Want to save over $150 on the Ford collection of watches? Just click the link in the description, originalgrain.com/TFL, and your exclusive discount will be automatically applied. Original Grain is running a $100 off Father's Day sale right now, and by using the link, you'll get an extra $50 off on top of that.
Yeah, this is a base truck, but it has quite a few features. So right here under towing, I set up this trailer. I called it TFL 20,000 Gooseneck. And then also, this truck has onboard scales. And it says my payload is 3354. And it seems like I'm basically at the limit. So that's 3,000 pounds. On the hitch, I'm 240 plus pounds, and I have, you know, some gear here too. So we are maxing this truck out. So this will be very interesting how this truck handles. Is it going to be really rough? Is it going to be comfy? And also, will the powertrain overheat, or will it be great? And by overheating, I mean not exploding. By overheating, I mean cutting power and you know, maybe climbing mountains in a slower fashion. So let's get going. How you doing, Roman?
I am good, my man. It's funny, we're both towing.
I know you're chasing me in the truck with a camping trailer behind it.
Yeah, and head on over to alltfl.com if you want to see that video. Sorry, I had to put that in there. So my big question, Andre, is how does it tow? What's it like pulling almost 20,000 pounds?
You know what? I am pleasantly surprised, because I was thinking, oh, this truck is not very heavy, it's not very long, but it's actually handling really well, very stable.
I mean, our new military truck just dwarfs the Ford. It's taller, it's longer, it's wider, it's just enormous, and I was worried that the little Ford would struggle, but you're saying it's not?
It's not struggling. So it's pretty stable. I think we nailed the distribution of the weight thanks to weigh-safe hitches. I mean, that was a huge help. We don't have to go to a truck stop to weigh ourselves. We know exactly what's happening. And also, I just realized, you know, when I was pulling this trailer, I could see the hitch behind me.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, how about the trailer? How's the trailer doing?
Well, the trailer is a tiny bit bouncy. I think it's set up for maximum load. You know, it can handle about 25,000 plus, maybe 26,000 combined. So maybe those tires are super hard. But in generally speaking, I am pleased. And it's also 96 degrees outside.
Yeah, tell me about that. Are your temperatures good?
So far, so good. Engine coolant 203, transmission temp 212, and engine oil temp 217.
Yeah, that's perfect. Certainly well within normal operating parameters. And You know, I'm looking at you from my rearview mirror, and that truck is so huge. It's like, that's not like towing a brick into the wind. That's like towing a brick wall into the wind. It's crazy. I wonder what kind of fuel economy you're going to get.
I know, because this F-250, when I was driving it empty, it got about 21.
When I pulled the empty trailer to Utah to get this military truck, it got about 12.1. But now I won't tell you what it says now.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's head over to Grand Junction and get some fresh diesel, because we want fresh diesel, not that stale stuff, right? And we'll do the typical TFL fuel pump test, so we'll know what the truck says, and we'll know what the pump says after we get over the Eisenhower Tunnel, or over the Eisenhower Gauntlet into the Eisenhower Tunnel, or are we going to the Johnson Tunnel? I always get it mixed up. Andre, you made it to Colorado.
We did. We're in Fruta.
Fruta!
So I found an issue with this truck.
What is that?
It rides nice,
Yeah?
but I don't have a lot of range, Roman.
Oh no!
And I figured it out.
What's going on? Small fuel tank?
I think it's 29 gallons.
What? Look at all the room under there.
It's itty bitty.
Wait, there's like an 8-foot bed. They could put like a 50-gallon tank.
Well, actually, they do. So if you buy a dually diesel from Ford, they have a 48. They have a 48-gallon tank.
They gave you the 20, whatever the hell.
Well, that didn't. Well, it's just a configuration, dude. So although this truck tows really well, so far it might be an issue with the tank.
How much gas was in there when we started fueling up? What were we at? Were you quarter
How much
tank?
diesel?
Yeah, just now, before we. How much was left in the tank?
Oh, like under quarter.
All right, so we'll see how many gallons it goes.
Okay.
So that'll give us.
It was almost empty.
All right,
Well, not almost. It was just. It's like an eighth left.
Andre, we know one thing.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
It's more than 24 gallons.
It's at least a 24-gallon tank.
Yeah.
Heading into the 25-gallon tank area. So my Tremor, Andre, has a 36-gallon tank.
Your F-150.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I think we found, like you said, a chink in its armor.
All right, it's got, well, probably a 29-gallon tank. Yeah, that's a thimble for a truck like this.
Okay. Well, especially when towing 20,000 or 19,000.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Ford will fix it with the battery.
A hybrid.
Plug it.
Plug in.
right,
Okay,
all right.
we're topped off. Let's tackle the Ike Gauntlet right now.
Yeah, after a few more hours.
Hey, Roman, do you want bad news or bad news?
Give me the bad news first.
Well, I've gone 187 miles and I'm down to quarter tank with like 37 miles remaining.
Well, we got to make it up the Ike, Andre, so hopefully we can make it up. And we're about to do our very first rolling Ike. So instead of starting at the bottom here, we're going to start on the highway and go up the mountain.
My other bad news is it says I'm low on DEF, but I have 50% left.
Yeah, that's a little weird. All right, I've got the stopwatch. I'm going to time you, like I said, the very first TFL rolling Ike.
Start now.
Stopwatch is rolling. Now, as always, we're going to try to go around 8 minutes on the world's toughest towing test. And we've got the truck maxed out.
It's perfect. I think I'm maintaining 60 right now. We'll see how it goes with the temperature, because it is 62 degrees ambient, which is pretty warm.
Yeah, it's not that warm. It's okay. How's it pulling?
It's pulling like there's no trailer behind me. I've got 475 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque. This is a standard output 6.7 liter powerstroke V8.
Well, that's pretty impressive, Andre, but we have not gotten to the tricky part yet, the steep part. We're just here at the bottom of the Ike. So let's see what happens when the Ike starts to bite. Now, we're not going to go down on this one, not on this rolling Ike. So if you guys are expecting how it does coming down, well, you're going to have to look at some of the other Ikes, because we've been driving now for 3 days, and it's getting late, we're losing light, and we want to get home to our wives. So you got to give us a little bit of a break on this one, but I think this is still a worthy test of this truck.
Absolutely, and I gotta tell you, we just descended Fail Pass, which is another massive mountain. And I gotta tell you, this transmission and the exhaust brake, they do the job.
So, 19,000 pounds for this powertrain on the way downhill. It's not too bad, but I just heard my fan kick in, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of pacing you, and I noticed you're not quite doing the speed limit, Andre. You're kind of slowing down.
Okay, so my engine coolant is at about 214, transmission fluid 214 also, and then engine oil 231 and holding. I am almost all out. So as far as my throttle, I just pressed it, and it's about almost full throttle.
Well, I gotta say, that's quite the sight. Seeing that little truck pulling that big truck up this massive mountain. I have to be honest, and I am impressed, because 20,000 pounds flying up this grade, which is what, 7%, as if it were, nothing, is certainly quite remarkable.
Well, I wouldn't say it's nothing. My cooling fan is running. It's a lot louder in the cabin. I can hear my exhaust, because this cab is so small. I can hear my exhaust pipe like a jet engine. So it's not nothing.
And you are slowing down, my man. As the Ike gets steeper, I think your foot's getting deeper.
My foot is now through the firewall.
How's your truck doing? Are you overheating yet?
I'm getting up there. My engine oil temperature is at 255, which is pretty high as well. All right, my truck says we're doing 55, so I'm not sure this is going to be a perfect Ike. You got to try to get below or at 8 minutes. And let's see, we're over 5:30 now.
My engine oil is at about 239 and holding, and I am not at 60. I'm a little bit below.
Would you recommend people buy this kind of a funky setup for their ultimate towing truck? I kind of feel like you need a dually for this.
No, I think this truck is great. It's really good at off-roading. It's maneuverable. It's relatively efficient when not towing, but it has a small tank which holds it back. So I think
for around the city jobs, if you're working around your city, I think this would be perfect. But for cross-country towing, no. I think you need a bigger truck with a bigger tank, and yeah.
It sounds like we need a bigger both DEF tank and fuel tank. Now, remind me, Andre, is that the high output Super Duty Power Stroke, or is it the regular one?
this is the regular one.
Mighty impressive. All right, we've got the stopwatch going. You can see it right there. We just crossed over 8 minutes, which is the ideal time. And we're about to cross the finish line. Almost there. So close.
Okay, I'm crossing the timer, and now.
There we go. Read them and weep. Read them and weep.
Roman, I have 3 miles to go.
You have 3 miles of range left?
Yeah.
Damn.
I've never had range anxiety in the diesel truck before.
Yeah, that's not good. Why would they put a bigger tank on this thing?
But check this out.
Yeah?
I went 217.6 miles.
Yeah.
8.6 MPG, you know, including some downhill because
Sure.
we just went, what, 25 miles downhill?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the pump says.
Yeah.
I mean, 218 miles.
Yeah, let's fill it up. Put the cheap stuff in.
Yes. There's only one.
Oh, you can't do the 85, huh? All right, let's see.
You don't want that.
Yeah, we're turning the truck to Ford. Give them the cheap stuff. Sorry, Ford.
Wow, that's sizable.
All right, I got my calculator here. You got it?
Do?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
So can you do?
I can do it. What do you want me to do?
We'll show the camera.
Okay. Let me
218.
do clear it out here. Okay, 218.
Yeah.
Okay.
Divide by 26.591.
591. 26.591
Yeah.
equals.
8.2.
Yeah.
It said about 8.5.
There you go.
So, you know, a lot of semi trucks get between 7.5 and 8.5.
Yeah. So you're getting a semi-truck fuel economy.
Yeah, this is semi-truck territory.
Yeah, except
So this is maybe not ideal.
20,000 pounds would be light for a semi.
Yeah, it would be almost nothing for a
Yeah,
semi-truck.
yeah. They do 80,000.
So, like we said before, I mean, this truck is kind of unique. It's quite expensive at $74,000 as it sits here, but it can do a lot except go cross country.
Well, here's the other way of looking at it, Andre. All right, show them that truck.
Yeah.
So you can have 2 of those for the price of 1 of these.
You just completely blew my mind.
All right,
Okay.
let me rephrase that. You can have 1 of these
Yes.
for the price of 2 of those.
Okay.
Does that help?
Well, on that note,
we-
thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching. Head on over to alltfl.com for, as always, Andre news, views, and real-world reviews. And we still have a couple more hours. This has been a really long day.
Then we have to unload.
We have to unload. We have to unhitch and unload. This is why we make the big bucks and can afford to buy crazy-ass.
I think we're gonna break even on this video, maybe.
Well, no, we spent like $1,000 on fuel. Forget that. Not gonna break even. But thanks for watching. Ciao.
Well, Case, my friend, no pain, no gain, right?
That's right. And before we kick off the series, we've got to buy some vehicles. According to the auction,
Yeah.
this does run and drive.
This is the ZR2, so it's lifted. It even has KO2s.
Are you ready to hear that noise again?
Yeah.
Well, I just won us a vehicle.
Oh no.
Yep. Robo was talking about maybe we should replace this fender. I think we just slam a wood screw into it and call it a day.
Oh, I'm so comfortable, Andre. How's your back? Oh, it's fine. I'm just loving this.